Shalom, shalom, all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory go to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and safety to the hopefully elect, man. All the sincere brothers, man, and sisters that scattered to the four corners, all right? That believe, that truly believe, sincerely believe in the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, all right? Through his only begotten Son, man, the honorable Yahweh Shai, man. The honorable Yahweh Shai, who the world referred to as Jesus, all right? Which the Lord name is not Jesus. For those who don't know, the Heavenly Father name is Yahweh, man, all right? And that's how you pronounce it in the Paleo Hebrew, all right? Which is the holy tongue, man. The tongue that the Heavenly Father spoke to Adam in the garden there, man. The same tongue Yahweh Shai spoke to Paul when he knocked him off the horse, man. The name that the Heavenly Father gave to Moses to give to the children of Israel, all right? He is, all right? I am translate to he is, which is Yahweh, man, in the holy tongue, man, all right? Not the Aramaic, not the Yiddish, all right? Those are bastard tongues, just like English, man. Spanish, Creole, all those are bastard tongues, man, all right? Latin, Greek, bastard tongues. It all derives from the Paleo, the Lashawan Kodash, all right, which is the holy tongue, the language of God, man, all right? So with that said, man, I'm going to jump right into it. I got a few scriptures lined up, all right? Bring out some heavenly edification for those who was predestinated, man, because this is only for the elect, man, all right? This is not for everybody, man. This is only for a select, all right, for a remnant, all right, of Israel, man. Those who was predestinated from the foundation of the earth to receive this knowledge, man. All right, that's who this word is for, man. All right, everybody else, this word condemns everybody else, man. All right, that's why they when it comes to teaching the word in sincerity and truth, they reject it, man. That's why they set up all these different religions, man. All right, these different religions that's acceptable to the masses of the people, because the masses can't receive, can't accept, all right, acknowledge the truth that's coming out this Bible, man. And with that said, man, I'm gonna just go into a few precepts, bring out some edification, like I said, for those who predestinated to receive it. And the first precept I'm gonna get is Isaiah 46:9, and this sort of dealing with predestination. Let's see, let's get it. Let's get the prophet Isaiah, chapter 49, and let's read verse. Let's see. Salakia. Salakia. That's chapter 46. Isaiah chapter 46. Correction, chapter 46 and verse 9. It says, remember the former things. Remember the former things of old. Not forget, man. All right? This devil, he'll try to convince you to forget. All right? Forget the past. All right? Forget the past, man. All right? So that's a tactic used by the devil, man, so you won't remember your history, man. Okay? You even got in the news right now, this devil Donald Trump, he trying to get rid of all the images from the national park and national museums of how Esau brutalized Jake, man. All right, in slavery, man, during the time of slavery, man. Okay, hard bondage slavery, because we still in slavery, man. You know, it's just a mental slavery, man. All right, so the Lord, the Bible tell you to remember the former things of old. It says, for I am God, and there is none else. There is none else. I am God, and there is, it says, and there is none like me. There's none like Yahweh. He says, declaring the end from the beginning. That lets you know everything predestinated, man. All right. He declared the end from the beginning. Okay. So that's what we go deal with in this lesson, man. The end. The end of what? the end of this age, the end of Esau rulership as we know it, which going to usher in what? The kingdom of heaven. All right? What's going to be right here on earth, man. All right? So it says, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done. The things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasures. All right? So the Lord's counsel is going to stand, man. All right? Everything that the Bible says is going to happen, man. Thus saith the Lord, man. Okay? So declaring the end, the end from the beginning, that's a form of being predestinated, man. All right? Because the elect was predestinated, all right? So with that said, let's get that Job 14:5. Job 14:5. So this is the book of Job, chapter 14. Let's read verse 5. It says, seeing his days are determined. See, determined, predestined. Seeing his days are determined. It says the number of his months are with thee. The thee is the Lord. It says thou hast appointed, predestinated, man, appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, All right. So Esau rulership has a expiration date, man. Okay. Esau rulership has a expiration date, man, and that's what I'm gonna go into this lesson, man. All right, that end is talking about Esau expiration date, man. Okay, not the end of the world as the earth, man. The earth being destroyed, because the Bible tells you the earth abideth forever, man. All right, so that end that he's talking about is the end of Esau rulership, and let's prove that, man, with a precept out of the Apocrypha. Let's go to the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra chapter 6. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and let's read verse 8. Let's read verse 8. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob held first the hill of Esau. Jacob held first the hill of Esau. So that was predestinated from the beginning. So let's go to the beginning, to the book of Genesis. Let's go to the beginning. Let's get it in Genesis chapter 25 and verse 26. All right, it says the end was declared from the beginning. Okay, so let's read the beginning. Let's go to the beginning. That's what the word Genesis means, the beginning. It says, Genesis 25 and verse 26. It says, and after that came his brother out. Well, let's start at 25. Give the full context. It says, and when her days to be delivered was fulfilled, behold, there came twins. There were twins in her womb. The first came out red. For all those who don't know, this is the beginning of the so-called white man. All right, the Edomites. All right, the Lord giving you a full description. All right, on who you refer to as the so-called white man. All right, we all know that he's not white, man. All right, my shirt is white, man. All right. So he's not white, man. He's red, all right? That's how the Bible describes him. So it says the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. So he's red and hairy, all right? That's a perfect description of the so-called white man, all right? That's the reason we say so-called white man, all right? Because he's not white, man. He's red, man, all right? Just like we're not black, all right? We're different shades of brown, man, all right? So it says all over like a hairy garment, and they call his name Esau. Esau, the progenitor of the so-called white man, as you know them today, the Edomites. Okay, this is their forefather. This is their progenitor, man, of the so-called white race, man. All right. This is the beginning of the so-called white race. And then verse 25, which is the point, and after that came his brother, and his hand. And then if you notice, he didn't describe his brother. Why? Because Jacob, all right, resembled everybody else that was upon the face of the earth, man. All right, he described Esau, the devil, all right, as being red, hairy, okay, because he stood out, man. Okay, he stood out from everybody else. But the main point is in verse 25. It says, and after that came his brother Jacob out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, just like we read in Ezra. What does that symbolize? That symbolizes basically Jacob is going to be the nation, all right, that bring Esau down, and there's no separation between, okay, once Esau falls, Jacob rulership going to bring in Jacob's rulership, which is the kingdom of heaven. All right, so there's not going to be somebody else that's going to rule after Esau. That's what that symbolizes, man, him holding his heel, man. Okay, all right, there's no break in between. Okay, the Chinese going to rule for a while and then Jacob. No, Jacob held Esau heel. That's who's going to bring the so-called white man down. All right, and we're going to show you that as I read this lesson, man. So it says, and his name was called Jacob. And that's the progenitor of you so-called Negroes, man. All right. I know the so-called white man never taught you this in his cemetery schools or in his public school system, man. But this is the progenitor of you so-called Negroes, man. Okay, Jacob, man. All right, whose name got changed to Israel. All right, if you have any knowledge of the scriptures, Jacob's name got changed to Israel. All right, and therefore, his kids, his children are referred to Israel, the children of Israel, man. All right, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, that's the progenitor of you so-called Negroes here in America, man. And that's the knowledge and the information that your father, the devil, been withholding from you. All right. So let's keep reading. It says, and Isaac was 80 years old when she buried him. So Isaac was 60 years old when Esau and Jacob came on the scene. So Jacob is the end of Esau's rulership, man. All right, and that was predestinated from the beginning. All right, so I'm gonna prove that as we go on in this lesson. Let's go back to that second Ezra 6. Let's read verse 9. So this is second Ezra 6 and 9. It says, and Esau is the end of the world. The end of the world. Now that word world, that is not talking about the earth, man. He's the end of the earth, man. Because remember, the earth, well, let's get that before we move on. Let's get that Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. Chapter 1 and verse 4. And it says, one generation passes away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The earth abideth forever. So when it says Esau is the end of the world, it's not talking about the earth. All right, Esau is the end of this world, this time period. All right, that's what it's referring to, man. All right, not the literal earth, man, because remember, the earth abideth forever. The earth abideth forever. So let's go back to that second Ezra, and let's read verse 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world, end of this age, man. And that's what the symbolism of Jacob holding Esau heel, man. All right, that's the symbolism of Jacob holding Esau heel. It says, and Jacob, the Israelites is the beginning of it that follows. All right, so just like I read in Isaiah 46, all right, the end was declared from the beginning. All right, and that's why we read Genesis 25 to show you Jacob's hand held Esau heel. All right, because Esau is the end of this age. All right, and Jacob, the Israelites are the beginning of the new age, meaning the kingdom of heaven, man. Okay, the kingdom of heaven. All right. So with that said, let's jump into the precepts and let's get some precepts. Let's get Revelation chapter 1 and verse 8 and show you that ending, how Esau is the end of this world. All right. Your father, the devil, the so-called white man. All right. So Revelation chapter 1. So this is Revelation chapter 1. We're going to read verse 8. It says, and this is red letter here. It says, I am Alpha and Omega. All right. Meaning the beginning and the ending. That's what Alpha and Omega mean. It says the beginning, and the ending. Now let's look up this word ending. It says to end. It says termination. See? Esau is the end of the world. And who's going to bring Esau in, man? Start with Yahweh Shai. All right? Which is the king of Israel, man. All right? The top Israelite. All right? Starting with Yahweh Shai, the angels, and the Lord's elect, man, which is the Israelites, the elect, all right? And who's described in Revelation chapter 7, man? The 144,000, man. All right, so it says termination. It says the limit at which a thing ceased to be. Who's that thing? Esau, man. He got a limit, all right? Remember I read Job? The Lord appointed he had a appointed time. All right, he said he can't pass though. Let's read that Job 14 again though. Let's go back to Job chapter 14 and let's read verse 5 again. It says, seeing his days are determined, predestinated, determined. The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass, So Esau rulership, all right, got a termination date, man. All right, and his termination date is whenever Yahweh shall return at his second coming. All right, and that's what the symbolism of Jacob held Esau healed, man. Why? Because Esau is the end of this world, all right, of this age, and Jacob is the beginning, all right, the beginning of it that follow, which is the kingdom of heaven. So Revelation 1 and 8 again, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. All right, so let's get another precept. Let's get that Matthew 24 and 3. So this is Yahweh Shai. So when it says he is the end, he's the beginning, he is the beginning, because Genesis 1 and 1, when it reads, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That God there is not talking about the Most High. All right? That's the Elohim, man. All right? That was Yahweh Shai. And the angels, all right, through the power of the Most High, doing the work, man. Okay? So he is the beginning. And what it means when it say he's the ending, he's the end of Esau kingdom, man. All right? This current age, man. All right? Let's prove that with this scripture right here. Let's get Matthew 24. And I believe I said verse 3. Yeah, Matthew 24 and verse 3 says, and he sat upon the Mount of Olives, talking about Yahweh Shai, and his disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? Tell us when these things should be. When Esau going to be taken out of his position of power, man? When we going to receive this kingdom? All right, so it says, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? What's the sign of thy coming? And the end of the world. Now remember, the earth abideth forever. All right, it's not the end of the earth. All right, the earth being destroyed. All right, no, the end of Esau world. Remember, it said Esau is the end of the world. All right, this is what the disciples was asking Yahushua. When is Esau rulership is going to be terminated, man? All right, that appointed time, all right, that the Lord set for Esau to rule upon the earth. That's what the disciples asking him, man. All right. Let's look up this word world right here. All right. Let's look up this word world and show you that it's dealing with a period of time. All right. It's not dealing with the world as we taught in this world to look at the world as everybody in the world. All right. This is not talking about that. It's talking about when is Esau time, all right, his appointed time going to be up, man. So when you look up this word world here in Matthew 24:3, it says G165. And it says eon, talking about time. Eon, it says forever, the unbroken age. Esau is the end of this age, perpetually of time, eternity, the worlds. It says a period of time. So when is Esau time up? This is what the apostles was asking the Lord, man. This is what the elect is asking the Lord still to this day, man. All right? Still to this day. So let's read that verse 3 again. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? All right? When shall Esau be taken out of his position of power? Because they knew the history. All right? Esau is the end of this age, this world, this time. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. That's why they're asking this question. All right? So it says, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming? All right? Because this is all going to take place at the second coming of Yahushua, man. Okay? The second coming of who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. All right? He's coming back to take the so-called white man, all right, to punch his clock, man. All right? His time is up, man. All right. So it says, and the end of the world, the end of Esau world, man, the end of Esau age, the end of Esau rulership. That's what the disciple was asking the Lord, man. Let's get some more precepts and prove it even further. Matthew 13:39. So let's stay in the book of Matthew. Let's read chapter 13 and verse 39 and bring it out. All right, bring out the edification. As we are commanded to do. So this is Matthew 13 and this verse 39. It says the enemy that sold them is the devil. All right. And these is just titles used to describe Esau, man. All right. This is titles to describe Esau. Well, let's read verse 38, man. It's a lot of meat. Well, let's jump up to 37. It's a lot of meat on this in this chapter here. So it says, and he said, he answered and said unto them, he that soweth good seed is the Son of Man. And we know that's referring to Yahushua, the Son of Man. He says the field is the world. And as you can see, this world here is 2889. That's a different world. This is cosmos. All right. So this world here is referring to people, man. The same world in John 3:16. Not the world in 2nd Ezra, man. Okay. This is the same world used in John 3:16. So it says the field is the world. See, the field is the world, meaning the people on earth, man. And the good seed are the children of the kingdom. Jacob, man, the Israelites. That's the good seed, man. It says, but, and remember in Genesis 3:15 is what it say? He put enmity, hostility, hate, all right, between the serpent seed and the woman seed. And we went through that in the last video. The woman seed are what? The Israelites, man. So it says the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, which is the seed, the woman seed. It says, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. All right, and those tares are the wicked Israelites, man. Okay, John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil, man. All right, those basically those who side with the so-called white man. All right, who follow the ways of the heathen as we commanded not to do. All right, you have the majority of Negroes are like that, man. So let's keep reading. It says, verse 39, which is the point. The enemy that sold them is the devil. And we know we went through that in the last video, man. All right, who the devil is, man. All right, due to Catholicism, they teach you that the devil is some mysterious creature that live under the earth with horns and a tail. All right, this is mythical Edomite Catholicism bullshit, man. All right, bullshit. Right, they the devil, man. All right, let's prove it, man. Look up the word devil again. The devil. All right, the devil. It says 12:28. It says metaphorically applied to a man who by opposing the cause of God. All right, that's a characteristic of the so-called white man and you tares, man. You children of the wicked one. Okay, meaning you wicked ass Israelites. All right, translation, you wicked ass niggas, man. Okay, you wicked ass niggas, man. All right, you oppose the cause of God, man. That may be said to act the part of the devil. All right, because that's what you doing, man. All right, that's talking to all you tares out there, man. Okay, you wicked ass Israelites. All right, you act the part of the devil or to side with him. So if you side with the devil, man, all right, you side with the devil. That's why you consider a tare. So it says the harvest is the end of the world. The end of who world? The end of Esau world. Now, if you look at that word, world, it says G165. That's a different world in verse 38. That's a whole different world. In verse 38 is G2889. The world in verse 39 is G165. Dealing with that same world that we read about in Second Ezra. All right? That eon, man. A period of time. A period of time. So it says the harvest is the end of the world. The end of the world, the end of Esau time, okay? And the reapers are the angels. The reapers are the angels. Verse 40 says, and therefore the tares are gathered and burnt in a fire. They're going to get the lake of fire. They're going to be in the lake of fire. That's what that is. All right, tells you that in what? Well, let's read it real quick and we'll come back to this. Let's read it real quick. We'll come back to it. It says, let's get that Revelation 28. Show you who the tares are. Revelation 21 and verse 8. It says, but the fearful and the unbelieving, these are the tares. These describing the characteristics of you unbelieving Israelites, those who side with the devil. All right, you wicked ass niggas. So it says the fearful, all right, the fearful and the unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire. That's you tares. That's what's being described in the book of Matthew, man. It says, and brimstone, which is the second death. So that's your tares right there, man. Okay, going back to that Matthew 13 and 40, it says, as therefore the tares, all right, all those who I just read about in Revelation 21 and 8, the tares are gathered up and burnt in the fire. They're going to be tossed into the lake of fire. So shall it be in the end of this world. The end of this world. Remember, Jacob, the righteous of Israel, is the beginning of the new world. All right, the order of the new world. All right, I always hear people talk about the new world order. All right, the order of the new world gonna come by the way of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai setting up their kingdom. All right, and putting those kings and priests, the righteous Israelites, to be the righteous rulers on earth, man. Because remember, this earth abideth forever. All right, and the elect is looking for what? Got a what? Everlasting kingdom, man. So ain't no time period, all right, to our rulership, man. Esau, the Lord set bounds, man, and a limit, all right, and Esau time is about to run out, man. So this is describing the end that you read about in Second Ezra, man. The end of Esau world, man. The end of Esau rulership. Okay, the end of Esau dominion, man. All right. So that's the point on that. Well, let's keep reading. It says, the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, shall send forth his angels. And he's not sending forth his angels to make friends and make peace with you people, man. He's sending forth those angels. He called those angels reapers, man. All right? Reapers, man. Death angels, basically, man. It says, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend. And that's all those people I just described in Revelation chapter 21 and verse 8, man. Unbelievers, whoremongers, idolaters. All right? Those who are described in Revelation 18 as being partakers of Esau sins, man. Okay? If you partake in the so-called white man, that's the equivalent of the definition I read when it talks about the devil, how you take side with the devil. That means you partaking, all right, in the sins of and the confusion of Babylon, which is a title used to describe the so-called white man as well, the Edomites, Esau. That's a title to describe them, man. All right? So it says, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things which offend, and them which do iniquity. See? Those who I just described, who the Bible described in Revelation 21 and 8. And cast them into a furnace of fire. See, the lake of fire, man. Okay? That's the lake of fire. There shall be wailing and gashing the teeth. And that's the point on that, man. So let's get another precept. Let's go back to Matthew 24. Let's read, verse 14. Let's see. Matthew 24 and verse 14 say, well, let's start at 13. Matthew 24 and 13. But he that shall endure unto the end of what? to the end of Esau world, man. You have to endure. Okay? He that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. Shall be saved. And this gospel, this truth, all right, the words that's coming out the Bible of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, And this is a different world. This world here is G3625. It says the inhabitants of the earth. See? The inhabitants of the earth. Let me see. So it says this gospel, this truth got to be preached in all the world for a witness into all nations, and then shall the end come. What end? Whose end? Then shall Esau end come. All right, and that's why he set up all these different denominations. That's the reason for the Catholicism, the Christian church, man. That's the purpose for science. That's the purpose because he's trying to prolong his time. All right, long as he can keep the elect from being sealed, okay. Long as he can keep the elect from being sealed, all right. He in his mind, he's prolonging his rulership, and you niggas helping the so-called white man prolong his wicked rulership, man, by partaking in his madness, man. Okay? So this is describing the end of Esau, man. That's the world that this is describing. Okay? This is the world that the Bible is describing. So let's keep reading. It says, well, let's read it again. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Whose end? Remember, we the beginning of it that follows. So it's not talking about our end, okay, the righteous, right, of Israel, all right. It's not talking about our end, but it's talking about the end of the so-called white man rulership. And all you Negroes that I described, that the Bible described in Revelation 21 and 8, all unbelievers, man. Why? Because the Bible describes you as siding with the devil. All right, describe you as being the children of the wicked. All right, the wicked one, man. Okay, it describes him as being the father. All right, what it says, John 8:44. John, let's read that John 8:44 real quick. Let's just read it real quick. This is describing the relationship between you Negroes and the so-called white man. All right. Let me break it down for you. He said the ye is describing you wicked ass Israelites. All right. It says are of your father the devil. That's why in Matthew it say ye are the children of the wicked one. Described as being tares. That's a title used to describe you as tares. So Esau end is also going to be your end as well. Why? Because ye are of your father. All right. And it tells you that in Revelation 18 that you're going to receive of the same plagues and sins of your father. All right. So it says, and the lust of your father ye will do. All right. The lust of your father ye will do. You will side with the devil. Side with the devil. All right. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, when he speaketh of his own, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So this is describing Esau, all right, that red hairy Edomite, man, that we read about in Genesis from the beginning. It said he was a liar from the beginning. What does the word Genesis mean? The beginning. He sold his birthright, all right, then he wanted it back. Okay, he in the spirit of Cain, all right, the spirit of Cain. We all know the story of Cain and Abel, how Cain slew Abel, all right, same way Esau promised to slay Jake, all right, which he have been doing ever since Isaac passed, since their father passed. All right, we have it documented modern history of Esau slaying Jake. All right, so that's what this scripture is describing. Let's get to Revelation 18. Let's see, Revelation 18, and let's start at verse 4. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. Don't partake, don't fulfill the lust, all right, don't side with the devil. That's what they're saying. All right, don't side with the devil. It says, come out of her, my people. Who is the Lord's people? The Israelites. All right, so he's saying come out of that confusion, man, because this chapter here is talking about Babylon. It's describing Esau as Babylon. That's a title used to describe Esau, man. So when you jump up to verse 2, it says, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, said, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen. That's what you read in Ezra's, second Ezra, the end of this world. See, that's the end that Yahweh Shai is describing throughout the Bible, man. When it talks about the end of the world, this is what it's describing. Babylon the great is fallen, man. All right, that's the end. All right, that's the end of Esau rulership. It has become the habitation of devils. All right, habitation of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Now I done broke that down in previous videos, and what that's referring to, man. So it says, let's jump back down to verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, because you're going to fall right along with your father, the devil, man. the end of Esau, the end of Esau world is going to be the end of your world. All right. Those Jacob, them Israelites that's being described as being the beginning of it that follow are the righteous Israelites. That's the wheat. Separate. He gonna separate the wheat from the tares. Remember, all right. The tares gonna receive of the plagues of their father, the devil. Man, they're gonna get the same judgment, man. It says for her sins, and this is how you know that Babylon is talking about a people and not a place, man. It says for her sins, all right, because only people can sin, man. All right, use your critical thinking, man. Only people can sin. That's how we know, man. This is a title describing Esau. I read it in verse 2. Babylon the great is fallen. Esau is the end of this world. That's what it's talking about. The destruction of the Edomites, man. For her sins have reached up to heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities, man. Okay? And only people can commit iniquities, man. It says reward her, bring the judgment. The reward is what? Her kingdom, his kingdom coming to an end. All right? That's the reward, man. So it says reward her even as she rewarded you. All right, she took down our kingdom. Esau took out our kingdom 70 AD. All right, 70 AD, man. All right. So it says, and double unto her according to her works. And the cup which she had filled to her double. Filled to her double. All right. So this is just an account, all right, of Esau world coming to an end, man. Esau time running out, basically. That's all right. His time running out. Okay, so let's get some more precepts, man. Let's get that Matthew 10:22. So this is the book of Matthew, and let's read chapter 10 and verse 22. And it says, and ye shall be hated of all men, And you see that going on right now, man. All right, Israelites and Edomites, all right, banding together, man, and these nations to hate against this truth, man. All right, they don't want this truth to come out, man. That's why they trying to get rid of free speech, man. If you can see what's going on in the news, they trying to get rid of free speech, man. All right, because through free speech, we able to come out here and bring out this truth, man. All right, openly. All right, but they trying to get rid of free speech, man. All right, they saying that it's about what it's about, but it's really about this word, man. All right, about shutting up the Israelites, man, because the Israelites, all right, despite what you hear about the Israelites, we're the only ones bringing out the correct knowledge out of the Bible, man. We're the only one revealing the man of sin, the son of perdition. We're the only ones showing you who the Edomites are, man. All right? You're not going to hear this in your Christian church, man, in Sunday school, man. All right? They're not going to teach you this in their cemetery schools, man. These theologian schools, man. All right? Who are the Edomites? Who are the Edomites, man? All right, the so-called white man, that's your true nationality from God, man. You are not Americans, man. Okay? You're not Europeans, man. You are the Edomites, man. All right? So it says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end of what? To the end of Esau time, Esau rulership. That's the end he's talking about, that you have to endure. All right, you got to endure all this until Yahushua come back and set up his kingdom, basically, man. All right, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved. Shall be saved, man. All right, and that's just describing what I read in 2nd Ezra about Esau is the end of this world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. All right, because the Israelites are the ones that's gonna be saved. All right. Through Catholicism, they done trick you niggas into thinking this talk about everybody, man. All right, and that's why we push so hard, man. The Israelite push so hard through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai to expose the lies of this devil, man. All right, so the elect can wake up, man. All right, let's get that in Revelation. Let's go to Revelation 7, man. Revelation 7, and let's start at verse 1. We're going to read down to verse 4, man. So it says, and after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth, that the destruction should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel, which is that angel is describing Yahweh Shai. It says, I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. That's Yahweh Shai. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads, man. All right? The elect, man. And I heard the number of them that were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, man. That's who's going to have the seal of the Heavenly Father in their forehead, man. Not no goddamn heathens, man. You niggas teaching about heathens, man. What is we doing here, man? Esau the end of this world, man. That's the end that the Bible describing, man. All right? And for the Israelites that endure all the madness and wickedness that's going on in this earth, those are the ones that's going to be saved. All right? So what are we talking about here, man? And this the free speech that they trying to get rid of, man, ultimately, man. All right? This word, this truth coming out, man. So let's get another precept. 1 Corinthians 15:23. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and let's read verse 23. So it says, but every man in his own order, every Israelite in his own order, Yahweh Shai first fruits after they that are Christ at his coming, the elect, those who I just described in Revelation 7. Then cometh the end. Who's in? Esau in, all right? Then cometh the end. At the second coming of Yahweh Shai, once the elect is sealed, then cometh the end. Let's read that again, in case you missed it. But every man in his own order, everything predestinated, man. Okay? Yahweh Shai, the first fruits. Afterward, they that are Christ. That's the elect. They that are Christ. That's the elect. At his coming, at his second coming. Then cometh the end. Then cometh the end. Esau's end. And all you wicked ass Israelites that side with the devil, that's going to be your end too. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall have put all rule and all authority and power, for he must reign. For he must reign. Remember, he said he's going to reign with a rod of iron. He's going to rule with a rod of iron. What is that rod of iron? That's the Israelites. That's why one of his titles is him being a smith. All right? Him being the smith. So he said, for he must reign, meaning rule, till he have put all enemies, meaning the nations. And the first one is Edomites, man. The so-called white man. All right? You proud ass Edomites, man. All right? Start with all your elites, man. Okay? Start with all your elites, man. You wicked ass wicked ass Edomites, man. Okay? It said, for he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet, man. Under his feet, man. All right? So that's what it's talking about in 2nd Ezra, man. He's going to put Esau under his feet. He's going to reign over the Edomites, the so-called white man. And he's going to use his people to do it. He's going to use those same elect that I just read about in Revelation 7 to do it. That's why the devil say don't read the book of Revelation. It's all allegorical. It's not it's metaphorical, allegorical. All right. No, it's literal. It's literal things written in the metaphorical, allegorical term, man. Like poetry, man. All right? Like poetry, man. That's what it is, man. Dark sayings, parables, man. All right? Talk about literal things that took place and that's going to take place. All right? It's written like that for a reason, man. So the common man, all right, using his common knowledge, all right, won't understand this, man. All right? Because this ain't common, man. This is advanced. This is heavenly, man. Okay, this is heavenly knowledge, man. All right, that's why they say you have to have the Holy Spirit to understand what's coming out this book, man. All right, you have to have the Spirit of the Lord, man. Okay, so let's read that verse 25 again, man. Well, 24 and 25. Then cometh the end. What end? What end? The end of Esau world, man. The end of Esau time, man. Your time is up. Your time is up, man. And that's the way he's trying to prolong his time is through his deceptions, man. All right, and his sorceries, man. Okay. So the elect won't be sealed. What it means, the elect being sealed with the knowledge, man. The knowledge that's coming out the book, man. All right. So it says, then cometh the end of Esau, the end of the so-called white man, y'all father the devil, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall put all, even Donald Trump, all right? Donald Trump, all right? You part of all right? Vladimir Putin, all right? You're part of all. Rule. And you think they gonna give up their rulership? Oh, here you go. Here you go. You think he gonna give it up? No, he gonna fight, man, against the Lord. And that's what you Negroes don't understand, that you siding with the enemy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And you gonna lose, man. It said no man got power over the spirit, man. No man, bro. So when the Lord send them reapers, man, it says when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, for he must reign. He must reign till he have put all enemies under his foot. Let's see who the Lord enemies is real quick, man, because Catholicism got you niggas fucked up, man. Let's see who the Lord enemies is, man. You have to bring this out, man. Let's see who the Lord enemies is, man. Let's go to the Gospels, man. Luke chapter 1, verse 68 says, blessed be the Lord power of Israel, the Israelites. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. The word redeem, all right, means to save, deliver, all right, to redeem his people. Let's read that again, man. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel. He the Lord God of Israel. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. Who is the Lord's people? You have a dumb nigga tell you, oh, everybody's God people. No, it just told you who is his people. Israel. Blessed be the Lord God Israel, for he have visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up a horn of salvation for us, the Israelites, his people, in the house of his servant David, an Israelite. And he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which would be his people, which are the what? Israelites, which have been since the world began. Remember Yahweh Shai said, I'm the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. That we should be saved from our enemies. From our enemies. Who is our enemies, man? The nations, man. Start with the red, hairy devil, man. Edomites, man. You niggas don't want to admit that, man. But that's what the Bible is saying. So they are all on the internet. Oh, the Hebrew Israel, they got niggas. the whole Hebrew Israelites are rapists, racist, and separatists, and evil and wicked. All right, no, we bringing out the facts, man. We all don't agree 100% on everything, but we all agree on this. Every Hebrew Israelite out there, man, we agree on this. No, I ain't gonna even say every Hebrew Israelite, because you got some coons out there teaching, oh, you can save the so-called white bubble eye blackfish. Elder Recall over there at GOCC. All right, he's saying the Gentiles are heathens, man. Mainly Edomites, man. All right, so you got a few Israelites that's bugging, who bugged out, took the bag, you know. But for the majority, 99% of the Israelites, we all agree on this, man. That our enemies is the nation, started with the so-called white man, man. Period, man. All right. So it says, from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promise from the beginning in Genesis. That's that promise he gave to Abraham, to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant. His holy covenant. It says the oath which he swore to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, that we being delivered out of the hands of our enemies. Well, out of the hands of who is the enemies, plural? Because they'll tell you that's Satan, man. That's what Catholicism got you niggas believe. Oh, the enemy is Satan. Yeah, it's Satan. It's him that come after the workers of Satan, but he got a physical counterpart on the earth. All right, and that's the so-called white man, the Edomites, who's the end that the Bible describes, man. Period, point blank. It says, the hands of our enemies might serve him without fear. So that's the point on that. I just want to bring that out. That's a heavy point, man. All right, to know who your enemies is, man. Okay, you got to know who your enemies. The Bible describes them in the book of Psalms, man. All right, talk about the nations, man. That's the enemies. Let's get that real quick, so we won't have no wiggle room, man. All right, we just read in the Gospels that the Lord coming back to deliver us out of the hand of our enemies and them that hate us. Now let's see who are the enemies, man. Who are the enemies, man? So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 83. So I'm gonna have to jump around. So it says, I'll start at verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, thy enemies, plural, make a tumult, and they that hate thee, just like I just read in Luke, have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And that crafty counsel is to hide the information that's coming out the Bible, to hide the truth from you. That's part of the crafty counsel, man, okay? That's the reason for public school, man, okay? And college and all his history books and his science and all that, man. That's part of the crafty counsel, man, okay? And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That's why you think you are African American. You ask 10 niggas, what is your nationality? They all will give you a different answer, man. All right? So you have been cut off from being a nation. That's part of the crafty counsel, man. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. You ask the average nigga on the street today, what's your nationality? He's not going to say Israel, man. Okay? He's not going to say Israel, man. All right? So their mission have been accomplished, but the elect through the Holy Spirit, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, all right, he woke up those who was predestinated from the beginning, all right, and we received this knowledge and this truth, and we bringing it out boldly, all right, boldly, man, in the face of our enemies, man, all right, using their platforms to bring it out. That's the spirit of the Lord, man. Okay, that's the spirit of the Lord, man. That's the power of the Lord, man. Why all you rest of you Negroes scared to utter the so-called white man in any negative form, all right? The spirit of the Lord allow his elect to condemn and reveal the son of perdition, the man of sin, which is the so-called white man, and prophesy his end, man. Okay, so it says they have consulted together. That's our enemies that Luke was describing. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, So he naming names. He's showing you who the enemy is, man. The average Negro, the average Christian, they will reject what I'm teaching right now. They'll say, oh, no, that's not quite right. You know, they Edom, they don't exist no more, you know, or they the Arabs and all kind of different madness, man. Okay? So he named all the nations, all the enemies, man. He says Edom, the Ishmaelites, that's the Arabs. Moab, the Hagarenes, Gabal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistines, all right, the Hamites. Okay, these are the enemies that Luke was describing. So let's get some more precepts, man. Revelation 2:25. So this is Revelation 2:25. Let's get that. Revelation 2:25 say, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. Meaning this knowledge. All right, that's what we got, man. All right, we got the knowledge, man. All right, verse 26 saying, he that overcome, if you overcome, all right, endure to the end, like we read in Matthew 10. If you overcome, how do you overcome? And keepeth my works, fulfill the law of Christ. All right, fulfill the law of Christ. Galatians 6:2, fulfill the law of Christ. That's the works. To the end, to when I come back and bring and punch Esau time clock. All right, you off, man. Your services is no longer needed, Mr. White Man, Mr. So-called white man. All right. So you have to keep the works until the end of this world. Esau time is up. To him will I give power. Then we're going to receive the power over the nations. See? Over our enemies, man. Okay? This is how you break the Bible down, man. This is the correct teachings, man. This is the teachings of who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. And y'all hate it, man. Y'all hate it, boy. All right? But the Lord going to keep raising up men such as myself until the elect is sealed. And we're going to keep punching y'all in the face with this truth, man. All right? Condemning y'all, man. That's what, like I said, the elect is predestined, okay? Everybody else outside the elect, they feel some type of way, man. All right? They cut, man. Just like when Stephen was cursing them niggas out, all right? And the Bible say they was cut to the heart. That's how you niggas feel, man, about this truth. Y'all don't embrace this truth, man. Y'all embrace them Edomites, man. Y'all embrace lies, man. Y'all embrace that Kemetic bullshit. All right? But y'all don't embrace this truth, man. Y'all not embracing the truth. All right? So it says, keeping my works until the end, him will I give power. That's what we want. All right? Power over you heathens, man. We want power over the so-called white man. We want power over the Hamites. All right? We want power over these Chinese, Japanese, all you different heathen nations. You dieheads. All right? That's what we looking for. Power, man, over the nations. And he shall rule them with the rod of iron. So we're going to rule you with a rod of iron, man. And Esau know this, man. That's the purpose for all his agendas, man. All right? His programming, his sorcery, his confusion, man. And it piss you off that you niggas, man. You niggas, man. How y'all side with these devils, man? You won't even open the Bible up and read it for yourself, man. You go spend thousands of dollars, go in debt, man, to learn lies from the so-called white man. Here we out here giving it away free. The true knowledge that's gonna sustain you, man. The knowledge that's gonna help you overcome. All right. The knowledge that's gonna help you overcome and endure to the end, to where Esau falls, so you can be have a position, a place in the Lord's kingdom, man. Because this ain't it, man. This is all the illusion, man. All right, this is gonna fall, man. He say Babylon the Great is falling. The end of Esau is the end of this world. That's what that means. Babylon the Great is falling. Esau is the end of this world. That's all that's saying. Jacob is the beginning that follow, and I'm reading the beginning of Jacob rulership, man. So it says, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron, as a vessel of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, man. All right? We're going to break you heathens, man. All right? We're going to break you, man. Even as I receive of my Father. Now, if some heathen or some regular peon hear this video, they'll say that I'm tripping, man. But this is the true gospel, man. This is the true gospel that they've been hiding for ages from you, man. Trying to deceive you into partaking in their sins so you can receive of the plagues of the so-called white man, man. All right, that's heavy, man. All right, so let's get some more precepts, man. Oh, let's get that. Let's show you. Let's go back to Second Ezra chapter 8. Let's read verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world," and we just showed you what it means when Yahweh Shai, when the Bible say the end of his time. Okay, we got that down. I hope y'all got that understanding. Not the end of the earth, like of everybody. No, the end of Esau, the so-called white man time. All right, meaning the end of his rulership. And it says, and this what Jacob holding Esau heel symbolizes. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. The beginning of it that follows. Let me show you what that means. Let's get that Isaiah 45:17. So this is the prophet Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 17. And it says, "But Israel shall be saved. Israel shall be saved in the Lord, with an everlasting. See, the Israelite kingdom, the kingdom of heaven has no end. All right, it has no end. All right, Esau elite know these scriptures, man. They know these scriptures. They know it so good. They know how to hide it from you niggas, man. So let's read it. It says, with the everlasting kingdom, see? Everlasting. So the so-called white man, your daddy, the so-called white man, all you niggas that look up to the so-called white man, all right, his kingdom have an end. But the kingdom to come, which is the kingdom of heaven, which is for the Israelites, is everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end, no end. See? The end of his world, all right, meaning the beginning of our world. And our world have no end. Our kingdom have no end. All right, so let's get another precept. 2 Thessalonians 2:13. Let's see what that says. 2 Thessalonians, see, chapter 2 and verse 13 says, but we are bound to give thanks always to the power, to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for you, brethren, not these heathens, man. Okay? Beloved of the Lord, the elect, the righteous, because God have from the beginning chosen you, predestinated you. All right? From the beginning, you to salvation through the sanctification of the Spirit and the belief of the truth. So this was already at the end. What I read in Isaiah 46, the end, he declared the end from the beginning, man. Jacob held Esau heel. That's what that's symbolizing of, man. And that was written in Genesis, which the word Genesis means the beginning. All right. Only through the truth, though. That's how you gonna obtain that kingdom, man. You have to acknowledge the truth. Stop siding with the devil, man. Let's get that Daniel 7:14. The prophet Daniel 7:14. And that's why Esau got a monopoly on the Bible, man. He set up his seminary school, so whoever teach the Bible, so-called pastor, preacher, you got to go through him. all right, and be indoctrinated by him, and then he give them a certificate, and they come back to their community and spread Esau lies. They've been doing that for hundreds of years, man. With the Jesuits, what you think the Jesuits was, man? All right, these are Edomites that travel abroad to spread Esau lies, man. All right, and that's why we call it a universal Tower of Babel doctrine, man. Common knowledge. All right, when people say common knowledge, all right, that's the common knowledge they describe it, man. All right, this knowledge is not common because only the elect gonna have it, man. All right, a remnant. All right, so let's read this Daniel 7 and 14. It says, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and language should serve him. It says serve him. And don't get it twisted. You're not serving him like we serving him, man. All right, meaning to be subject to the Israelites, man. That's what it's talking about. I showed you who gonna rule, man. It tells you that in Isaiah 14, man. Okay, who that rod of iron is. So it says, shall serve him. His dominion is an everlasting, everlasting dominion. Not like Esau's. Esau got a time limit. You got a time limit, Mr. White Man. Okay, you got a time limit. That's why the devil is he's basically, man, ramping it up, man. You see this devil Donald Trump, man. These devils ramping it up, man, from every angle. All right, no matter if you Republican, Democrat, both sides. All right, they all playing together to play a game on the basses of the people, man. Okay, so it says, which shall not pass away. See, our kingdom shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. All right, Esau kingdom gonna pass away, gonna be destroyed. It's not everlasting. He got a time limit, man. Let's jump. Let's see. Let's jump down to verse 18. But the saints, who is the saints? But the saints of the Most High, the Israelites, who I read about in Revelation 7, the 144,000, shall take the kingdom. Shall take the kingdom. Who kingdom? They're going to take. Jacob had held, Esau healed. Physically, we're going to physically take you out of power. All right, Mr. So-called white man. All right. And possess the kingdom. We're going to possess the kingdom. And our kingdom going to be set up, which is called the kingdom of heaven. Forever, even forever and ever, man. Okay? Okay, so now, let's keep going, man. This is Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Let's get to show you who the saints is, man. And this is why Esau, he don't want us to rule over him, because this is how we gonna rule over him. Let's get it at Psalms 149 and 5. Gonna give you a little insight on how we gonna rule over you devils, man. Let's see, Book of Psalms. Book of Psalms 149. And I'll start at verse, it's a lot of meat on that chapter, but I'll start at verse 5. It says, let the saints, who are the saints? Let the saints be joyful and glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, our enemies. People, man. This is what the Bible's saying. We're going to execute vengeance upon the heathens. Literal people going to execute vengeance upon literal people. All right? All this, it's the spiritual demon Satan. No, literal people. To execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishment upon the people. People, this is what we describe here. The Bible saying this, man. The Bible say we gonna execute vengeance, punishment upon literal people, man. I love that, man. It says to bind their kings. So Donald Trump, all his dignitaries, all Vladimir Putin, all these heathens. He says to bind their kings with chains. So we're gonna lock you up. We're gonna lock, just like you locked up all Jake leaders, all the so-called black leaders in the 60s and And yeah, we're gonna lock your ass up. You going to jail, you going to prison, man. With chains and their nobles, King Charles and his sons, his grandsons, that's they nobles with feathers of iron. We're gonna put their ass in chains, man. To execute upon them the judgment. This is what the saints gonna do. We're gonna execute. And nobody look at a saint in that way. But the Bible, this is how the Bible describes the saints, man. The Bible say that the saints gonna execute upon them the judgment written. The judgment written in the Bible. Dishonor. So this is an honor and a pleasure, man. Have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. See, the saints is this is an honor and a pleasure to do this. We can't wait to do this, man. Okay, this is all we think about, man. Every day. Every day. Let's get another one. Let's get Revelation 13 and 10. Let's describe these saints. We describe Esau, Edom. Let's describe the saints. Revelation 13 and 10. Let's start at 9. If a man have an ear, let him hear. If a man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. See, we're going to lock y'all ass up. We're going to lock up your kings, man. We're going to execute judgment and vengeance and punishment upon you heathens. So this is the precept to Psalm 149. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. They go that two-edged sword in their hand. What that sword for? Vengeance. Here is the patience and the faith, the honor and the pleasure of the saints. Of the saints. All right? That's what we waiting on, man. Okay? That's what we waiting on, man. So let's get one last precept. Revelation 5:10. Revelation 5:10. We're gonna close on this. Revelation 5 and 10 say. Well, let's start at 9. It says, and they sung a new song. Who is the they? The saints, the Israelites, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to God. Who's the redeemed? The Israelites. That's who's looking to be redeemed. Esau on his way down, Jacob on his way up. It says, by the blood out of every kindred, tongue, people, and nation. They'll use that and say, see, let's talk about everybody. Man, let's talk about the Israelites that were scattered amongst all people, kindred, nation, and tongue, man. Simple as that. Verse 10, which is the main point, and has made us, the saints, the Israelites, unto our God, our power, kings and priests, and this is the kicker. This is the kicker right here. And we shall reign, rule on the earth. So that's an example of Jacob being the beginning of it that follows, man. So that's the proof that the world, the whole earth is not going to be destroyed. That end of the world is just talk about Esau's time, Esau rulership, all right? Because the kings and priests, which are the elect of Israel, shall reign, shall rule on earth. That's your rod of iron right there, all right? On earth, all right? So with that said, man, I hope you brothers was edified. Shalom.